Hello.
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 Rip Taylor over here.
Hey, let's do
Hello,
this.
everyone. Oh, it's good to be here.
Hey, I think we should all. I got complimented on my ridiculous voice last week, so I think we should all do this week's episode in our favorite impersonations, and Jeff's is going to be a delight. Just because you do so many voices.
Oh, I have way too many. I was going to say, what's my favorite? I have no idea.
Pick a voice and do the episode in that voice.
I mean, I feel like the easiest one I can do consistently is just talk like Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
And that would sound a little something
That's-
like this.
That's the easiest.
It's the easiest process, but the problem is it hurts my throats after doing it too long.
Do you want my water?
That's pretty good.
I would probably need it. Call him.
All right, wait. I want you to read the first page. The first.
I was hoping that he was going to be drinking the water and doing his impression like a ventriloquist.
Like a ventriloquist.
Yes,
He was drinking water, guys.
Nothing's great about podcast and ventriloquism.
Just trust us. All right, Jeff's going to read the first 2 lines of my notes today.
Henry's courtship of Anne Boleyn's answer was at court for years before Henry started wooing her.
Can I get some subtitles, please?
And all legally.
Yeah, we're gonna need subtitles.
Filthy Henry VIII was all fat and gushy.
Ew, why'd you have to say that
Oh,
word?
no. Podcast is canceled.
Fucking hate that word. Ugh.
Emily, what's your favorite impression?
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, Tina Belcher.
I don't know. I don't really do a good impression. I just do weird shit.
You got to give us something, man.
I did my impression last week. That's all you get.
You just quote things really accurately is more your
I?
thing. Yeah, like you're really good. Because I have a lot of friends and people who are like into movies and they try to tell me about a line or a scene they know and they just do it so terribly. But you get the timing down and the inflection down on, and when you read, like you reenact a scene from something. Like we were doing Spaceballs last week, but you did it with like any movie you've seen really a lot. You get down like to the exact way it's done in the movie.
Do you remember when we went to see Jonathan Rhys?
Taylor Thomas.
No.
Jonathan Rhys Davies?
Yes.
Gimli?
Yes. We were at PopCon or Comic-Con or one of the cons, and somebody asked him to do his line, you were named after the dog? And he did it, but he like actors haven't seen their own movies a fucking million times. So he just did like his voice and he said, you were named after the dog. And the guy in the audience proceeded to correct him. And I was like, did you just sit down?
Also, that's my favorite thing of any time at a convention when someone's talking to a celebrity and their question is, hey, can you just say that one line you always probably asked to say?
My favorite line is, what's it like to work with this other celebrity?
I know you're famous, but what's it like to work with a more famous person?
Well, we couldn't get them, so I guess you're the next best thing.
You're a good backup. Garrett, what's your favorite impersonation?
Lately I kind of like doing a H. John Benjamin, the voice
my
of
God.
Archer and Bob Belcher.
Do
I
it.
like that one a bit.
Do it.
Let's find a quote. Oh God.
Now who's on the spot?
Poop.
Yeah, you put me on the spot. I can't think of any quotes.
I know there's so much pressure. Jeff, can you think of a quote?
I'm looking up right now.
I say Archer has tons of quotes. I'm just trying to remember them.
This is how we get ants.
Yeah. I'll give you one that I'm better at. The movie phone guy.
Oh, do the movie phone.
Okay. Welcome to Movie Phone. For showtimes, press 1.
This is how we revealed Garrett's deep dark secret. He was movie phone guy.
Guys, I was movie phone guy.
In the show Seinfeld,
It's
Peter Dinklage, because Elaine falls in love with the guy on the phone. No, it's like some phone service.
It was a different thing. It was a
but
wake up call or
Kramer
something like that.
was trying to be it So he would do is just have his
he gets the
newspaper
wrong
with him.
number. He gets the wrong number, and everybody calls him thinking it's movie phone. And so he tries to do it, and he just pulls out the newspaper whenever, and he's like, "For movie times, press 1 now." And they'll press it, and he won't be able to tell what it is. He'll be like, "Why don't you just tell me what movie you want to see?" I don't really like that show, but I do love that episode. Oh, good times, guys.
Hey, tutors today.
Hey, tutors.
Today is Tutor Tuesday. No, it's
I
not.
thought we were gonna want to get. I thought we were gonna get an early start on the show, and no, it just devolved into quotes.
No. We never get an early
I
start
love
on
the
the show.
5-minute digressed.
The 5-minute
Anyway.
what?
I don't know what I said.
Digress.
Digress. I
You
said
added
I added
a
a T for
T.
some
Digression.
reason. Digression.
You can
Sure.
digress, or it is a digression. Are you guys ready for today's episode? I know Garrett is.
Yes.
Garrett, so I was at work this afternoon, and I used my lunch break to pick topics and then do some research. And I have a list on my phone, and I sent it to Garrett, and I was like, "Hey, which of these do you want?" And he immediately replies with, "Saucy letters, saucy letters."
I did do that.
So today, this was another, I swear to God, guys, we actually have other ideas for episodes, but you guys keep giving us really good topics. So this was another fan recommendation. And I'm kind of glad because I've been wanting to get back to some of Henry's wives and talk a little bit more about them.
More direct tutors.
Yeah. Although people are still liking our episodes. So I wanted to get back to some of his wives, and one of our listeners suggested that we talk about Henry VIII's saucy letters to Anne Boleyn. And I mean, like, they weren't erotica, but
They might as
There's
well have
some-
been back then.
what is a ye olde erotica, Jeff? What do you think it is?
I'm. How do I try? to
Hey,
put this
babe, want to come
appropriately?
over and see my cod piece?
Yeah,
Hey, bae, you up?
Mr. Tutor will see you now.
I want to imagine dick pics back then. It's like Henry with his dick out, and then he's having some painter stare at his dick for however long he's gotta.
Speaking of dicks being out, Garrett
Whoa.
sent me. Wait.
Good thing this is only audio.
I would like to point out that I just said, speaking of dicks being out, Garrett sent me and then stopped. Garrett sent me an article about some random shit that, and he just told me to look at the number one thing on the article, and it was like weird shit that is too weird for historical movies or whatever. And the number one was that one woman in particular started a trend of just having your boob hang out of dresses, and this was in the 1500s.
I believe it was France. And it wasn't.
It was.
And now you may be thinking, oh, just letting the girls fly. No. Just one boob.
Just one. usually lefty. And she'd just hang right out. And it was weird because like they didn't design their dresses so that lefty hung out. They just kind of like moved it down. It was like they were trying to get some cleavage, but then they slipped and they were like, this works. It's like the scene in Mean Girls where she gets her tank top cut and she looks down and she goes, eh, and she just walks out and she starts a whole new trend. That's basically what happened. No, but I thought I would tell you that was in fact a trend that hit the English court.
Did it?
And you're not going to be pleased.
You told me about
Oh.
this one. I like
I
it.
did. Queen Elizabeth took to the trend, but it started in the late 1500s for her when she was a little bit older.
So,
That's okay.
So I'm just
That's okay.
visualizing Judi Dench from Shakespeare in Love version.
Just with her boobs hanging out.
Boob.
Yeah.
Just with her boob out.
She may have had boobs out.
She's the queen. She is
She
double
gets
the
two.
fashion.
Yeah, she gets two. And
This episode will be titled Boobs Out.
boobs out for Henry VIII. But thought we'd share that fun fact with you.
Oh, I miss the fun facts. We used to have way more of those.
We can keep coming up with that. I mean, this will give us fun Henry VIII fun facts.
Fake Henry VIII fact for today. Henry heard about this trend and he was really jealous, so he wanted to start his own trend where he just had one of his testicles hanging out at all times.
Wouldn't that pinch?
It would.
I was actually thought you were gonna say he also did the boob trend when he reached that fat
It's
phase.
just big meaty moob.
That might also be an episode title, Big Meaty Move.
That was the erotica fanfic back then.
It was.
The king exposed his big meaty moobs. Like
Anne, what are you writing?
lumpy
Nothing?
mounds of sand.
Okay. That's
Not-
fucking delightful. Are you guys ready to actually get on to today's topic?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. As Gollum had told us earlier, we are going to talk about Henry's letters to Anne, but I also wanted to I wanted to talk about his whole courtship of Anne. So we're going to talk about that and the saucy letters.
Ooh.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I just had this idea of doing it as Julia Child.
Or the Mrs. Doubtfire voice.
I don't think I could do that justice.
Hello. Today, dearie, Harry wrote some letters.
Okay.
Jeff, the man of many voices. That's a new segment. You do a different voice every episode.
Ooh, I like that.
Anyway.
So Anne was at court, as a reminder, for 4 years before Henry started being like, she got a nice bod. Except she didn't. I mean, she was kind of whatever looking. But she was at court for 4 years before he really noticed her.
I mean, the thing is, every time I think of Anne Boleyn, I just think of Natalie Dormer.
Oh my God, she's so gorgeous.
So I'm like, yeah, no, I definitely see.
Yeah, no, she was pretty average looking. Like one of her friends described her as okay looking. So,
Oh, so she's like the me of women.
shut up. You're gorgeous, right, Garrett?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to post a picture of Jeff on our page, and everybody gets to tell him how handsome he is.
Or ugly. I'll take whatever I can
Everyone say one nice thing about Jeff.
He's got a nice testicle hanging out of his
Oh, God.
pants.
We will not be posting that.
He's got a nice meaty moob.
get. Oh, God. That is true, though.
No, it's not. Shut up, you drama queen. So,
Well, let's hear about this mighty move.
Henry's mighty moob. She had spent the previous 7 years in France, so she became very glamorous, very refined. So even though she wasn't super pretty, I mean, I don't think she was ugly. Just not like
I feel like
gorgeous for the
I feel
day.
like there's anything about her being ugly. It was more slanderous than it would have been. Like the whole did she have like a mole? They said that she had a mole, that kind of stuff.
Yes, they said she had a
She
mole on
had
her
6
neck.
fingers.
Which, I mean, I'm covered in moles, so I'd have been fucked. They would have been like, God, you're such a witch that you've got like 30 of them.
Aren't moles also referred to as beauty marks, though? Like,
No, that didn't happen until the 1900s.
all right, but
No,
why
I'm a
was
lot-
that a thing?
In the
Like, when do people
1700s,
like, wait, moles? Sexy.
in the 1700s, the French court started adding like beauty marks, like drawing on little heart and star shaped marks onto their faces.
Okay.
But moles, no, they were witch signs of a witch. It's where the devil sucked from your body. Fun fact. So even though she wasn't the height of beauty for the day, even though she wasn't the Kate Beckinsale of her day, she was still very glamorous, very charming, very refined, very witty. And also Henry was also banging her sister, and in the early 1520s.
Details.
He was having a grand old time with Mary. But then finally around 1526, she caught his attention. We can't really be sure how, but she did. There's a lot of guessing because Henry VIII destroyed all of her shit after they broke up. He took her box out into the yard and he burned it. Getting
Threw it
drunk
out the window.
What?
Threw it out the window.
Yeah, totally. But we do know that she refused to be his mistress. And the one thing that did remain from their from their stuff was Henry's letters to Anne, and I'll tell you why those remained shortly. But also Henry, you know how he like erased all the Catherine and Henry initials around and then put Henry and Anne initials all around.
Yeah, all the towels.
He had all of them like carved out, except they missed one in the ceiling of one of the palaces.
I like how it was in the
Hey, what's
ceiling.
that? Nothing.
Right? It's like the scene in Alice in Wonderland. We're painting the roses red. We're painting the roses red. They fucked up. So anyway, Henry's love letters are one of the few things that remain that are really not guesses based on other people's letters or anything like that. It's actual like this. We know this happened because this is a letter from Henry to Anne. So
That's weird. Those survived amongst all this other stuff.
So the reason they survived is they're in the Vatican.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and there are 17 of them.
Is that like those? You're talking like? Well, I'm assuming today they're in those like special vaults that's in Vatican, like where it's like the
Like if
the
you watch
glass-
Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, I'm thinking,
Mhm.
or Angels and Demons was that one where it's like the specially
Yep.
controlled temperate rooms. That
Yeah.
kind of stuff. That's cool.
But I mean, if you're the right
Well-
person, you can still see them.
So wait, so Vatican had them back then too, or
Um,
was this something that they acquired later on?
No. So in 1529, the letters were stolen from Anne
Oh shit.
and taken to the Pope. And it would have been because they wanted proof that Henry was sleeping with Anne.
Oh, this is when he was still with
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Catherine.
Uh-huh. So the Vatican still has those letters.
We got proof you're sleeping around, Henry.
Yeah, except the letters don't really
It's
prove
just
that.
a bunch of notes that say, "Do you like me? Check yes, check no."
You have no clue how accurate you are, Garrett.
It's like passing the notes in the classroom.
Wait, what?
You also have no clue how accurate you are.
Oh my God.
They had a book of hours, so we don't have any of Anne's letters left because, you know, the Great Purge of 1536. But there was a book of hours that they had, and they would write notes to each other in the margins of the books. And in one, Henry wrote, "If you remember my love in your prayers as strongly as I adore you, I shall hardly be forgotten, for I am yours, Henry Rex, forever." And then
He
in
threw
an-
that Rex in there to be super sexy.
I've never heard the Henry Rex before.
it's so Rex is
I know it means king.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then Regina is queen.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yep,
Y-
that's
I-
why
I knew that from
Elizabeth
Latin.
and Mary would have signed it Elizabeth Regina.
But I just like how we've never referred to him as Henry Rex before.
He signed everything as Henry R or Henry. It was usually Henry R.
I would imagine it's because people are like, "Oh, hey, you're signing it Rex, like, you know, King." Is like, "Oh no, I just really like Tyrannosauruses."
My
I'm
mom
just a
said
big
I could.
dinosaur fan.
My mom said I could be whatever I wanted when I was a kid, so I said I wanted to be a dinosaur. And then also in that same book, under a picture of the Virgin Mary giving birth, or Virgin Mary with the baby Jesus, Anne wrote, "By daily proof you shall find to be to you both loving and kind." Basically saying, I'm going to give you a son, I promise.
and they
Whatever.
even made poetry with this.
What?
They were doing it as like a rhyming scheme and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, they were.
I love you in a box. I love you with a.
Here's your Henry VIII fun fact. Henry VIII was the original Dr. Seuss.
Yep.
I will
I love you, babe. You're number one. I love you, babe. I'll give you a son.
I love you when we're in the bed. I love you even without a head.
Oh.
Oh, man, that's good.
That one took me way too long to come up with.
I'm still proud of it.
Thank you. So they didn't date their letters, so we're not really sure about the appropriate order of them, but they're kind of guessing based on the content of the letters. So the letters kind of have a scheme. The first letters are the first batch of letters are Henry being like, "Anne, why don't you love me? I love you. Why aren't you writing to me?" He's like that needy high school boyfriend.
I
who's
visualize
like,
him as that guy who just pulls out an acoustic guitar to like play like, "I wrote this song about you."
Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Yeah. Here's my hurdy-gurdy.
He did write her love songs.
Of course. Because anything we learned from Henry is that he's nowhere near a drama queen.
Henry VIII is so extra.
He is the definition. Guys, this is how he became Henry the Eighth.
Yep.
Just being way too extra.
So, in letter 1, so they're called letter 1, letter 2, letter 3, all the way to 17, but it doesn't
Clever.
necessarily mean the order. So there's a lot of guessing about the order, but it pretty much is like the first chunk is Henry VIII is like, love me. The second chunk is, I'm so glad you love me. And the third chunk is, so looking forward to divorcing my wife. So the first letter, I'm going to read a couple of them to you. I actually wrote all of them down, but I'm not going to read all of them because that's a fucking lot. But I will read some of them.
Were these letters pretty long?
Some of them were short, some of them were long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, can I look them up online?
Yeah, you can.
I want to read one.
Okay. So Henry's first letter, I'm going to read that to you. Garrett, I'm going to tell you which letter to read.
Okay.
Let me find out which one it was, and I'll tell you when to read it.
Okay, I've got them.
Henry's first letter. But if you please to do the office of a true loyal mistress, this is part of the letter, not the full one. But if you please to do the office of a true loyal mistress and friend, and to give up yourself, body and heart to me, who will be and have been your most loyal servant, if your rigor does not forbid me, I promise you that not only the shall be given you, but also that I will take you for my only mistress, casting off all others besides you out of my thoughts and affections, and serve only you. So he's like, I swear to God, I won't bone any other chicks. While we're together, you're going to be my main chick. Like my main
She didn't see the warning signs that he was married to somebody and flirting with her.
She did, which is why in these letters, he is kind of like, you're not responding to me. What's up? I know you keep saying that you have quote unquote virtue, but like, really, I'm the king.
You'd be the guy who'd be constantly texting you. Are you there?
Yeah.
I haven't responded yet.
He said, it is absolutely necessary for me to obtain this answer, for having been above a whole year stricken by the dart of love, and not yet sure whether I shall find a place in your heart and affection. So
Gag me with a spoon.
Oh, it gets so much better / worse. So that was a letter sent after Anne had gone to Hever Castle. She may have been going to Hever to kind of be like, I'm going to flirt with you, but I'm also drawing myself away to show you that I'm not just going to jump into your bed. Which some people think she was playing that game where she was like, I'll flirt with you. I'm going to give you just a little bit, and then I'm going to come back and you're going to come running after me, and it'll be delightful. So if she was playing that game, it worked, but other people are like, that's a bit risky. He could have just turned to another woman, so maybe she wasn't playing a game, and maybe she really didn't want to be his mistress at first, and then she fell in love with him. So once again, we don't know because we don't have her letters.
But we're in love.
Mm-hmm. There were letters sent in 1528. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Here's a little bit of a timeline. In February of 1528, Stephen Gardiner was sent to the Pope to be like, Henry needs a divorce. In June of that same year, Anne got the sweating sickness, and Henry was sending her love letters like, oh fuck, please don't die. September of 1528, Cardinal Campeggio was in town giving a ruling on quote unquote a ruling on the king's great matter. So Henry sent Anne back to Hever, her home, so that it didn't look like he was just trying to bed another woman. And then in December of 1528, this is all within like a year, Henry had given Anne her own apartments at court so that everybody could be like, look at her, she's basically the queen. And then in early 1529, that's when Henry's letters to Anne were stolen. So that's why the Vatican has them.
Okay.
So, this one's a fun one. So letter 2. And it's okay if some of this is nonsense. It's just the way they spoke back then. Actually, I don't even know if it's the way they spoke. It's the way they wrote.
Well, it's like when people struggle to read Shakespeare. It's like, well, I mean, it's just because the way you just wrote
It was the way
things.
it was written. They didn't actually
Yeah.
talk like that. Fun trick: if you're reading Shakespeare, don't read it word by word. Read it line by line or paragraph by paragraph.
Yep.
Here's letter 2. Though it is not fitting for a gentleman to take his lady in the place of a servant, yet complying with your desire, I willingly grant it to you. If thereby you can find yourself less uncomfortable in the place chosen by yourself than you have been in that which I gave you, thanking you cordially that you are pleased still to have some remembrance of me. 6NALDABNAVEZ. That last part was some sort of code.
Are we sure about that?
I mean, it's just letters and numbers, so
At the end
unless
of-
he had a stroke
At the end of the letter,
mid-dictation.
he did the letter 8, equal sign, equal sign, equal sign, equal sign, capital D.
Semicolon, parentheses, close.
Henry wrote the first dick emoji.
Henry invented emoticons.
Yeah.
Yeah, they think it's some sort of code, maybe about a place that the two of them are going to meet. Not really sure. I didn't look too much into that.
Maybe that was the code. Yeah, they're trying to figure out where to go.
Yeah.
Coordinates.
Um,
Maybe he gave her a decoder ring.
and
She found it in her porridge.
Henry invented Cracker Jacks and then put it in her Cracker Jack box.
Henry did a lot this episode.
Henry is very busy this
Hey,
episode.
He did-
Prolific man.
It's all for love
It is all for love.
Well,
and that boob.
That single left
sweet
boob.
single boob. Mono boob.
Letter 3, he was being super romantic, and to remind her of how much he loved her, he sent her a dead deer that he killed himself. Which is like, it's funny. So this gets me thinking. There's a lot we associate with hillbilly behavior.
Just slams his dead deer in her front door. Thud. Oh, that's sweet.
It's the size of my dick. So this gets me thinking about how much hillbilly behavior we think of, like hunting. Like you just, like in America, it's like camo and bright orange, and I like to shoot my guns,
I
and
took down that book.
it's hunting season. But in the olden days, it was like only the wealthy hunt.
Yeah.
It's just fascinating how that happened. And I don't know if the British still hunt.
And not that hunting is a hobby relegated only to hillbillies or rednecks or
No,
what
it's
have you, or
not.
country folk. Just, it's what's associated a lot with rednecks.
Yeah,
I feel, especially here.
it is. Sorry, guys. If you're in Britain and you hunt because you're fancy, let us know.
I was about to say, I'm trying to visualize hunting in England, which I realized like it was a big thing for royalty and
Bows and
For-
arrows, I guess, and they used falcons for hunting.
yeah. But yeah, you think of hunting, at least here in the States, you just think of a guy in like full camo with the orange hat and hiding. It's like
Sitting in a tree.
camping. Like, but it's hard to weird. It's weird for me to think about other countries
Fancy hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was letter 3 where he sent that to her, and he goes, to cause you
Cough,
yet
cough.
softener to remember me, I send you, by bearer of this, a buck I killed late last night by my own hand, hoping that when you eat of it, you may think of the hunter. And thus, for want of room, I must end my letter, written by the hand of your servant, who very often wishes for you instead of your brother, H.R. So the first time I read that, I thought he was saying he wanted to be her brother, and I was like, well, that's where the incest comes from.
Also, apparently, he's human resource.
No, what he was saying was that your brother George is here at court, and like he's fine, but I really wish he were you.
Also, I choked that deer to death.
His blowjobs aren't
That's why
nearly as
it made it
good.
sound like I like when when you read it as killed this.
A buck killed late last night by my own
Man,
hand.
I visualized he's like strangled this deer to death. They didn't. It wasn't even like wild.
He
it was just,
wrestled it to the
it was,
ground.
it was just something he
love
had
makes you
like
do
in his
crazy things,
stables.
Jeff.
What'd you s-
What care?
I said love makes you do crazy things, Jeff.
including strangling deers.
I just visualize crazy Henry, just his hands around a deer, just like
okay, but
staring
I'm
at it.
picturing the
Is
deer
that not how you
from.
got Emily to marry you?
I'm picturing the deer from Evil Dead.
The laughing one.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So letter 4, she'd finally agreed that he could call her mistress. So she wasn't sleeping with him. She was the mistress of his heart, basically being like, you can be my servant. Yes, I will allow us to be officially a couple. So he started calling her. Well, I guess earlier he'd started calling her by mistress, but at least by letter 4, she had. My mistress and my friend. My heart and I surrender ourselves into your hands, beseeching you to hold us commended to your favor, and that by absence of your affection to us may not be lessened. Hold my heart and my dick. Blah, blah, blah. I really miss you. We've been apart for too long. Oh, this is a good part. Reminding us of a point in astronomy, which is this. The longer the days are, the more distant is the sun, and nevertheless the hotter. So it is with our love. For by absence we are kept a distance from one another, yet it retains its fervor, at least on my side.
I don't know about you, but I'm pretty hot for you.
Woo!
Yeah, that's gonna. I mean, letter 5. Anne had sent Henry a present, so this was one of the ones that we know she absolutely sent him, and she sent him a jewel of a woman on a ship with a diamond in it. And it's
Titanic.
It's she.
The heart of the.
It was the heart of the ocean.
Holy shit. We found it.
Henry replied, "For a present so beautiful that could be more so."
Henry VIII composed the penny whistle solo. For my heart will go on.
Oh my god.
Henry
He wrote that for Anne.
Henry VIII replied to her, "For a present so beautiful that could be more so, I thank you most cordially, not only on account of the fine diamond and the ship in which the solitary damsel is tossed about, but chiefly for the fine interpretation and the too humble submission which your goodness hath used towards me in this case." Blah, blah,
Thanks for
blah.
the rock.
The demonstration, this is one of his long letters. The demonstrations of your affection are such, the beautiful mottos of the letter so cordially expressed, that they oblige me forever to honor, love, and serve you sincerely, beseeching you to continue in the same firm and constant purpose. Written, blah, 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 written by the hand of that secretary who, in heart, body, and will, is your loyal and most assured servant. This is the good part. H seeks no other than A.B. Henry seeks no other than Anne Boleyn. And he drew a heart around Anne Boleyn's initials.
What a nerd.
Yeah, he is.
Oh,
And I
that's
hope
so
you
good.
love me.
Henry's the awkward guy who finally gets a girlfriend and just screams. He's like, "My girlfriend!"
He's already a creepy redhead.
He is. Creepy gingers.
He's like that kid from American Vandal.
Never finished that. Never watched it.
Oh, that's good.
Didn't want to. I got deterred by the first half a minute where they're like, "He drew a penis." I'm like,
It's
goodbye.
really funny. Really good.
We are not paid for that one.
Really quick.
Yeah.
What would have happened if Anne just outright refused Henry?
Well, that's the thing, is we don't know if she did outright refuse Henry.
You take that deer
Well,
back.
Give me the deer back. We don't really know if she did outright. She may have outright refused him sincerely from the start, not just playing a game, not just trying to lead him on. But he was kind of like, I'm the king, I get what I want, and I want you, so...
I mean, if she said no, could he have done anything to her? Or?
No, but
Okay.
He would beheaded her.
same ending either way.
Yeah.
I mean, would he be able to do that? Do you think he would have done that?
No, I don't. I don't think he would have beheaded her. I think he would have been a sulky child. This was before he went insane.
She doesn't like me.
Yeah, I think he would have been a sulky child and been like me. But she clearly gave him.
What if she had led him on to like the point where he was like, "Oh yeah, that's happening," and then she's like, "Nah."
Well, that's kind of what was going on. Was she would lead him on, and then she'd back away, and then he'd go after her even harder.
What a tease!
I know, but we don't know if she was actually in love with him. Like that's the thing. It's very. There's so much mystery in Anne Boleyn. Like she is shrouded in mystery. And so much of what we know from her is based on letters from Chapuis to his emperor or the French ambassadors. There are like no court notes from when she was on trial, which is another reason most people think it was a bullshit trial, or most historians think that. But there's just so much puzzling things together. So we don't really know. She may have genuinely been like not interested in him at first, and he just kept pursuing her. A lot of people think that what happened at first was that he pursued her. She was like, not really into this. And then she's like, well, I mean, I guess if I can get him to give me and my family shit, that'd be cool. But then ultimately she did fall in love with him. So it's just fascinating. Thank you for that question, Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
Letter 7. Basically, I'm fairly confident I'm going to get my divorce soon. Then we can be married. Letter 8. Anne gets the sweating sickness, and he's like, fuck. Don't die.
Please don't
I
die.
love
Please
you.
don't die. Please don't die.
Please don't die. Here's my second best doctor.
And his love.
Give me your best.
Yeah,
and his love brought her back.
Good luck, honey.
Letter 9 was that like, oh, more people are getting the sickness, but good news, very few women get this. based on a survey I did of my chamber, which is all men, not a single woman amongst them has gotten the sweating sickness. So I'm sure you'll be fine. Letter 10 was really like a you up text. It was like, just checking on you, love ya. How you doing?
It's just WYD on a piece of paper.
Woolsey, take this to Anne. Sir, what does this mean? Don't worry about it. Letter 11 was the same, kind of just checking on you, love ya. Don't forget me, kisses.
You done dying yet?
Letter 12. We're almost getting to the good one, Garrett.
Oh, I can't wait.
The approach of the time for which I have so long waited rejoices me so much that it seems almost to have come already. Basically, I think we're going to be able to get this divorce soon. Spoilers, he didn't. Ron Howard voice comes over.
He didn't.
He didn't.
But he really didn't.
However, Jeff, can you like mush that in?
What?
Find Ron Howard, find a narrator voice doing he didn't.
Maybe I can see.
We can't afford that.
It's less than however many seconds that we're allowed to do.
We can't. We don't have Ron Howard money. We've got Clint Howard money.
However, the entire accomplishment cannot be till the two persons meet, which meeting is more desired by me than anything in the world. He talks about himself and Anne in the third person a lot. It's weird. For what joy can be greater upon earth than to have the company of her who is dearest to me? Knowing likewise that she does the same on her part, the thought of which gives me the greatest pleasure. I wrote please, but I think it said pleasure. Judge what an effect the presence of that person must have on me, whose absence has grieved my heart more than either words or writing can express, and which nothing can cure but that begging you, my mistress, to tell your father from me that I desire him to hasten the time appointed by 2 days. Basically, her dad had to go do an errand, and he was like, look, I know he said he'd be a little bit longer, but tell him to get his ass back to court 2 days sooner. I want this shit handled. No more at present for lack of time. Gotta go. Hoping shortly that by word of mouth I shall tell you the rest of the sufferings endured by me from your absence. And another, Henry seeks no other than AB. Like, he did it in a way where it was like AB was in the middle. And then AB was in the middle, and around that was no other Sikh, and then on either side of that was HR. So it was like a big ass. Like, he was so cheesy. Letter 13. I miss you, but we'll meet soon. Now, Garrett, letter 14.
Letter 14. Mine own sweetheart, this shall be to advertise you of the greatest elegantness that I find here since your departing. For I assure you, methinketh the time longer since your departing now last than I was wont to do a whole fortnight. I think your kindness and my fervency of love causeth it. For otherwise I would not have thought it possible that for so little a while it should have grieved me. But now that I am coming towards you, methinketh my pains be half removed. And also I am right well comforted in so much that my book maketh substantially for my matter. And looking whereof I have spent above 4 hours this day, which causeth me now to write the shorter letter to you at this time, because of some pain in my head, wishing myself, especially an evening, in my sweetheart's arms, whose pretty duchess I trust shortly to kiss.
It's duckies. Do you know what duckies? All right, quiz time. What are duckies?
It's not, those are things you wear for when you're going on the rain, your for your shoes, right?
I want to say lips, but that seems too obvious.
Jeff?
Oh no. Oh no.
I think you're half right.
No, not that lewd.
Okay.
Duckies are boobs. So he was all like, I cannot wait to motorboat you.
That's just as ridiculous. He's like, babe, please, can I see a boob? And she's like, I'll give you one. And that's how that started.
You only get lefty.
Oh
Oh.
my God.
Letter 15, he was like, hey, just wanted to touch base with you. This is where we're at.
I still get the duckies right.
Letter
Can I kiss some
16.
duckies, baby?
Letter 16, Anne had apparently requested that he send her news about the divorce. He said the legate, which we most desire, arrived at Paris on Sunday or Monday, so they'll be here shortly. And the last letter is basically the exact same thing. Like, the legate's on his way here. We totes gonna get divorced. So these letters are pretty indicative that they did have some sort of a sexual romance going on.
Well, he said he was going to kiss her duckies. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, he was at least getting to what is that? First base or second base?
that's second base.
What's first base?
Nope.
First base is just kissing, right?
First base is kissing. I think second base is
Like,
Groping.
like over the clothes. Feeling up. I think third base is like
Under the clothes, feeling up.
yeah, like blow jobbing and hand jobbing
Okay.
and
And
finger
then-
blasting.
Okay. So they probably get to second or third base. A bare minimum.
For all the people who say like, "Hey, I like your podcast, but I can't play it for my kids at school," that's why.
Please don't play this for your kids. I straight up struggle to listen to some of my podcasts when I'm in the car on my way to work, because I'm like, I know she can't hear this very well, but I'm probably really fucking up my child by
Mommy, what's a
exposing-
ducky? It's like a rubber duck.
No. I'm talking about my true crime podcasts.
Oh yeah. Also yes.
I'm fucking her up, so I won't listen to it
Oh
without my
God.
earbuds.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't listen to those anymore in the car. But anyway, they weren't having sex. They were likely not having sex because they couldn't really risk a bastard pregnancy. They wanted Anne's children to be legitimate. Henry needed a legitimate son. So they probably weren't banging, but they were definitely fooling. One of the letters Henry wrote, I would you were in my arms, or I in yours, for I think it long since I kissed you.
Now,
Occasionally, it's kind of
refresh
sweet stuff. That's not too hokey.
No.
me- No.
That's exactly what I text Jeff whenever I'm out of town. I think it long since I've been in your arms.
My heart yearns for thee.
My heart.
Once again, what was the distance like between the two?
Like miles wise,
Yeah.
not that far miles wise, but taking a horse to get there, like a day's ride, 2 days ride,
Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
So along the lines of the courtship, earlier on, so George Wyatt is a reference for a lot of Anne Boleyn stuff. He's the grandson of Thomas Wyatt, I believe. He's related to Thomas Wyatt. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure he's not Thomas Wyatt II. I think he's just the grandson. So Alison Weir calls him the Anne's great Elizabethan apologist. So she said that, or George Wyatt said Anne was reluctant to accept the king's advances because of the great love she bore to Queen Catherine of Aragon, which is kind of funny because a lot of people like to write Anne as being like, fuck that, she's an old hag. But I don't know. That may have been so, but she was also seeing what happened to her sister Mary, who Henry had cast off, which fun fact I learned today. Henry liked to spend a lot of money on Anne. He bought her books and jewelry and clothing and furniture, all this stuff. And in fact, in November of 1530, they purchased a jewel that Henry had given Mary Boleyn when he was banging her. He was like, can I have that back? Yeah, it's a little awkward now. Also in that same year, Henry even paid for his own gift from Anne to him, which is just like the most Desperate Housewives.
Oh my gosh, you should have. That's so lovely. It's exactly what I wanted.
It's like a kid buying a present for their parent, even though it's not their money.
Yeah, it's like the real. It totally made me think of like the Real Housewives of whatever the fuck it is now. I just was laughing at that. One of the things that George said that had happened was that she told Henry, I think your majesty speaks these words in mirth to prove me, but without any intent of degrading your princely self. So like you're leading me on, you're just fucking with me. To ease you of the labor of asking me any such question hereafter, I beseech your highness most earnestly to desist, and to take this my answer in good part. I would rather lose my life than my honesty, which will be the greatest and best part of the dowry I shall have to bring my husband. Basically, this cherry's for my husband. You ain't getting it. Henry said, well, madam, I shall live in hope. And she goes, I understand not, most mighty king, how you should retain any such hope. Your wife I cannot be, both in respect of mine own unworthiness, and also because you have a queen already. Your mistress I will not be. So we don't really know if she said that. This is the grandson, the 2 generations later. So not really sure how true that is. Plus, I don't think George Wyatt's exactly a reliable source on the sitch. So, and then after all those letters and the courtship, they finally were able to get the divorce, and finally sidled her way into the court, and they got married, and we all know how that ended.
Mm-hmm. Well, for everybody.
And that is the courtship of Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn.
So, we're going a little long on this one, but I have a couple quick questions.
Ask away.
Does anybody have any idea of who stole those letters?
No.
No guesses, or like, well, might have been this person.
Probably not. Probably somebody who was loyal to probably somebody loyal to Catherine of Aragon.
Okay. You think it could have been like one of Henry's like good besties?
No, probably not.
Okay. What a twist. Do you were these ones that were intercepted before they were given to somebody, or probably not?
What do you mean?
So like Henry's like, hey, give this to Anne, and the servant's like, okay.
Oh
and then they
no,
just give it to
no,
the
no, no!
church
They were all
instead.
stolen from Anne.
They're all stolen from Anne.
Yeah, so she'd received them, and she had them like secured in a box.
Well, apparently not well enough.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, that's really all I had.
Jeffrey, any questions from you?
How do you make microwave work?
Oh, I'm trying to think of it. And so it's only those letters we know of so far,
The
right?
17.
Because is there possible there was more, we just don't have them
Oh,
anymore?
definitely.
Oh yeah.
I really would love to have seen what she was writing back
my
to him.
God.
It's like one of those things you're always so
Kill.
curious about. Well, it's
It's-
also be fascinating also to see these letters. Like you actually see these letters, like pictures of what they look like.
Yeah, they have some. They
Okay,
actually had
s-
one on display in
Because I
2009.
figured that'd be a cool thing to see. Is just like
Ugh.
seeing Henry VIII's handwriting right there.
That's
like,
my wet dream.
like it's actually his hand that wrote
You
this.
can see pictures of
Because-
it online.
Yeah, because this
It's in
since,
French.
since these were probably a little more secretive letters, he wasn't having like a scribe make it out. For
Right.
him at all.
These were his own writings.
Which that's really cool to see because you always think about like
Yeah.
majority of letters you see are probably written by someone who's meant to be
the secretary.
secretary, legible
Yeah.
kind of writing.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh
like
my god, I found the one with the heart around Anne Boleyn.
Yep.
What a cheesy fuck.
I know.
I love it so much.
I know. Me too.
Do you have a picture of this? Do you want me to send it to you so we have it?
Go ahead and send it to me.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun if we have some of these
We'll post
photos.
it.
We'll post them.
Yeah, okay. We'll do that.
But no, I
So
can't
that's
think,
it.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
Good one, guys.
Yeah.
That was a
Okay.
really good one.
What was the correction we had from last week?
Oh, my correction from last week is that I said Elizabeth of York was Henry VIII's mother. I meant grandmother,
We had
not mother.
last week had a bunch of like we were trying to figure out all those.
Sorry, my
Yeah,
mind
that
got
confused me.
what?
That confused me. And I normally don't
Yeah.
remember any of these people.
Sorry, I
It's
no, I just got the tree in the family tree in my head got confused.
Between all the
It
all the
was
different similar
Henry's
names, it gets really
grandmother.
tough to keep.
there's
them
so many
straight.
people.
How
Like,
many
come on.
Elizabeths? So thanks for not everybody jumping down my throat, but I appreciate the one listener who very, very kindly
You fool!
reminded me that it was grandmother.
You-
I was missing that
You
word.
dumb bastard!
You dumb bastard. It's a schooner. That's it for corrections, I think, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's all we have for today.
and there is.
Don't worry, we'll have corrections next week, I'm sure.
Yeah, we didn't have any like questions to answer this time around.
No.
So
Now that
yeah.
we're back to weekly.
Yay.
Yeah. We're back.
So that's it. Find us on Twitter and Facebook at Tudor Know Her or just Tudor I Hardly Know Her. Tweet, Facebook message me. I reply to them as much as possible.
Rate, review, subscribe.
Rate, review, and subscribe. We have 104 ratings.
Wow,
I
really?
know.
Yeah.
I think we're at 107 now.
I was going through our old episode titles and I forgot about some of those ones we did.
Yeah.
They're fucking nuts. I love it.
Speaking of, somebody on Twitter made what I guess it'd be a fan account
Yes.
chronicling our episodes.
Yes. I love it. First of all, I love you for making a fan account. Second of all, everybody should follow because it's funny already.
What's the account name?
I'm finding it right now.
At Tudor Love Her.
No, it's
That's the name of the handle.
it is, yeah.
Go
good job.
Jeff.
Yeah, I was looking
Yep,
it up,
it's
so I
at-
knew.
It's at Tudor Love Her.
What did they
Thanks for
call
doing
it?
that. That's awesome. You
It's
know you've hit the big time when someone makes a fan account for you.
I know, I feel so special. It's the name is fan account. I hardly never mind.
I like it. I love it.
I laughed really hard when the thing was like quick, like little quick clips from the
It's
episodes.
like
It's
three
like
sentence recaps.
it's like Garrett still can't remember title of own show.
I'm so excited to. I'm so excited to see the rest of them. It's going to be fun. It'll
It's
be a
kinda
fun
fun
way to.
'cause-
It'll relive.
Because I haven't really listened to our old episodes
Yeah.
in a long time, so I've kind of there's some stuff I've kind of forgotten from what we used to, like our jokes from the previous episodes.
I know. I'm looking
So-
forward to it. So thank you, that fan, and everybody go follow Tudor, love her. It makes us laugh. We are preparing for the Great Boleyn episode. I started rereading The Other Boleyn Girl.
Oh, cool. And so just whenever
And
Garrett's here in person,
we're gonna get Garrett, get his booty
yeah.
down here, and we're gonna have a
get
grand
him
old time.
live in the studio.
Yeah, baby. So
I'm excited. Can't wait.
me neither. So until next time,
Yeah.
Until
till
next time.
divorced,
Divorced,
beheaded,
beheaded,
died.
died.
Divorced, beheaded, survived. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.